Imagine a small, struggling kingdom surrounded by powerful enemies. Its army is weak, and its people live in fear. Now imagine a young man rising from this chaos to create one of the strongest nations in history. This is the story of Philip II, King of Macedon. You might know his son, Alexander the Great, but Philip's story is just as incredible. Let's dive into his life and see how he changed the world forever. Philip was born in 382 BCE in Macedon, a small kingdom in northern Greece. Life was hard there. The army was poorly trained, and stronger neighbors like the Illyrians and Thracians often attacked. Philip was the youngest of 3 brothers and didn't seem likely to become king. As a teenager, Philip was sent as a hostage to Thebes, a powerful Greek city. This might sound terrible, but it turned out to be a great learning experience. While in Thebes, Philip lived in the house of Epaminondas, one of the greatest generals of the time. Here, Philip studied advanced military tactics and learned how discipline and strategy could turn a weak army into a powerful force. He closely observed the phalanx formation, where soldiers fought in tight ranks with long spears. This formation was both highly organized and deadly in combat. Philip also learned about diplomacy and the importance of alliances. He saw how Thebes used negotiation and clever leadership to maintain power. These lessons left a deep impression on him and shaped his vision for Macedon's future. In 359 BCE, disaster struck Macedon when King Perdiccas III, Philip's older brother, was killed in battle against the Illyrians. The kingdom was left leaderless and vulnerable, with enemies closing in on all sides. Philip, only in his 20s, stepped forward to take charge as regent for his infant nephew. However, recognizing the need for strong leadership, Philip soon claimed the throne for himself. Philip inherited a kingdom in chaos. The army was weak, morale was low, and Macedon's borders were under constant attack. But Philip acted quickly. He reorganized the army, introducing strict training programs and improving weapons. The key to his reforms was the sarissa, a revolutionary spear twice as long as traditional Greek spears. This gave his soldiers a significant advantage in battle, allowing them to strike from a distance while remaining protected. Philip also reorganized his troops into a more effective phalanx formation. Unlike traditional Greek armies, Philip's phalanx was highly disciplined and could adapt to different terrains and enemies. This became the foundation of his military success. Philip didn't just focus on the military. He was a master diplomat, using strategic marriages to secure alliances. He married women from important regional families, including Olympias, who would become the mother of Alexander the Great. These marriages helped stabilize Macedonia and expand its influence. Once his army was ready, Philip set out to expand Macedon's borders. His first major challenge came from the Illyrians, who had been a constant threat. Philip led his new army into battle and achieved a stunning victory, killing thousands of Illyrian warriors and forcing their leaders to submit. This victory not only secured Macedon's western frontier, but also boosted the confidence and loyalty of his troops. Philip then turned his attention to the fractured Greek city-states to the south. At the time, Greece was a collection of rival cities like Athens, Sparta, and Thebes. They often fought each other and were too divided to defend against Philip's growing power. Philip used a combination of military force and diplomacy to bring these city-states under his control. During one of his early campaigns, Philip suffered a significant injury. In 354 BCE, while fighting in the siege of Methone, an enemy archer struck him in the eye with an arrow. The wound was severe, and Philip lost sight in his right eye. Despite this painful injury, he continued to lead his army and refused to let it slow him down. This incident became a symbol of Philip's resilience and determination, qualities that defined his rule. One of his most famous battles was the Battle of Chaeronea in 338 BCE. Philip faced a coalition of Greek forces led by Athens and Thebes. The battle was fierce, but Philip's army, supported by the powerful phalanx and brilliant tactics, won decisively. This victory marked the end of Greek independence. To maintain order, Philip established the League of Corinth, a coalition of Greek city-states united under Macedonian leadership. He positioned himself as the leader of this alliance, paving the way for his next goal, a campaign against the Persian Empire. Philip wasn't just a conqueror. He was a visionary ruler who transformed Macedon into a powerful and prosperous state. He understood that a strong economy was essential for a strong kingdom. Philip developed gold and silver mines, which brought immense wealth to Macedon. He used this wealth to pay his soldiers, build infrastructure, and fund his military campaigns. Philip also invested in roads, fortresses, and cities. These improvements made it easier to move troops and goods across the kingdom, strengthening both its defense and economy. Under his leadership, Macedon became a center of trade and culture in the region. Education and culture were also important to Philip. He brought poets, artists, and philosophers to his court, creating a vibrant cultural environment. Most notably, he hired Aristotle, one of the greatest thinkers of all time, to tutor his son Alexander. Philip's commitment to education ensured that Alexander grew up with a deep understanding of philosophy, science, and leadership. By 336 BCE, Philip had achieved more than anyone could have imagined. He had turned Macedon into the dominant power in Greece and was preparing to lead a massive army against the Persian Empire. However, his plans were cut short by tragedy. During a celebration at the wedding of his daughter Cleopatra, Philip was assassinated by one of his own bodyguards, Pausanias. The reasons for Philip's assassination remain unclear. Some believe it was a personal grudge, while others think it may have been part of a larger conspiracy involving political rivals or even members of his own family. Macedon was rocked by Philip's death, regardless of the reason. Despite his untimely death, Philip's legacy endured. His son, Alexander, inherited a strong and unified kingdom with a powerful army. Using the foundation his father had built, Alexander would go on to conquer the Persian Empire and become one of history's greatest military leaders. But none of this would have been possible without Philip's vision and leadership. Philip II of Macedon was a man of extraordinary vision and determination. He transformed a weak and divided kingdom into a superpower, creating a military and state that could challenge the greatest empires of the time. His innovations in warfare, diplomacy, and governance changed the course of history. While Alexander the Great often takes the spotlight, it was Philip who made his son's achievements possible. Philip's story is a reminder that true greatness comes not just from conquest, but from building something that lasts. What do you think about Philip's incredible journey? Let us know in the comments.